So guys, the leak list from yesterday leaked the A-6E SWIP. I already did a lot of videos about this, and why is that? Well, because mainly this has been an aircraft that has been leaked for a very long time. I have a feeling that even if we actually take a look on it, if I'm not mistaken, there was like a model leak like a very long time ago that basically leaked the aircraft. And yeah, even if you take a look on the actual like Baidu leaks, Mike's leaks and stuff, on the very least, on the December patch of 2023, I think it was the first time, if I'm not mistaken, or something like that, in the, like November, December, something like that, was the first time they actually leaked the A-6E SWIP. And this thing never got added. I mean, it's 1 year and a half, and it kind of became even a meme. We kind of know that it's a real leak if it has the A-6E SWIP, and it doesn't get added, right? So, first of all, let's talk about what the aircraft is, and try to answer a little bit on why this is not a thing in the game yet. Because remember, of course, I think what they mean with this leak and everything, it would be basically a Tech 3 A6 intruder, right? Which is something that, I mean, there's no reason why this thing never got added. I mean, I understand the US has so many attackers, and even in the same VR, I mean, we have the F-111, we have the A-7, we have many other fighters that can do air-to-ground as well, and premiums. Even in the premium range, we have a premium that is the exact same VR, the F-5C, right? So, at the end of the day, I kind of understand maybe why they're pushing this aircraft to the future, but I mean, we're gonna get to it, right? But the aircraft itself, guys, remember, because we have the A-6E Tram, right? And what is the Tram? Well, the Tram is the target recognition and attack multi-sensor version. That's what Tram means, right? And with that, we have the main thing, which is the forward-looking infrared, right? The FLIR system on the nose of the aircraft, under the nose of the aircraft, basically brought this aircraft to the modern day at the time. I think it was what, the late 70s or something, to be able to use, on their own, laser guided stuff. That was the main idea behind it, but it's still a very early A6E basically, right? So it is a very Cold War-ish aircraft, okay? And we even have something like the Skipper, the AGM-123, right? Which is a very interesting, like, missile guided bomb, basically, right? It's a paveway with a rocket engine, right? But it's all very old stuff. It's just normal laser guided stuff. It's not the advanced paveways. We do not have any TV guided stuff. We do not have any GPS guided stuff or anything with that, right? And that's the idea behind the SWIP. The SWIP was a system and weapons improvement program of the A-6E Intruder, and it was introduced more, I think, in the late 80s, I think, or 90s or something like that. And the idea here was to actually digitalize basically is that a word? I don't know. Basically make it digital, everything inside the aircraft, right? Or the majority of the stuff, and basically try to bring to the modern day an intruder, right? And of course, with that, they introduced many new weapons. Of course, you could carry, I mean, the Harpoon, anti-radiation missiles, stuff like that. But to be honest, for the in-game purposes, for now, since we don't have too many anti-ship missiles, we don't have anti-radiation missiles in the game yet, the idea here is that it would be an intruder, just like the Tram, that would be using a better camera, maybe, a better performance, in the aircraft, because a lot of them had composite wings and stuff, so the performance of the aircraft would be better, it would be lighter and stuff. And the major thing, it would be the introduction of the Maverick, and in general, TV guided stuff, like you can carry other stuff that are TV, like, for example, the AGM-62, I think. And in the future, of course, together, with the Maverick, the JDAM as well, and in the future, other weapons, like I said, the Harpoon, the HAR missile and stuff, right? So For the in-game purposes, it would be a small upgrade that would probably increase the BR of it a little bit, because especially of the Mavericks, you know, and the performance a little bit as well. Maybe even depending on the BR, it could receive the M9M, depending on the BR that it has, right? I don't think it will be like an 11 point something, so like 11.7 or something. It probably would be like an 11.0, so probably not the M9M, but still, it could be something that this aircraft could carry, right? So it's a modernization of the Intruder. But the major thing is that obviously this aircraft would be a Tech 3-1, probably in between the A-7E and the A-10C, right? Or the A-7s, the Corsairs, to the A-10, right? And the only reason that I can think of that we don't have this aircraft in the game is what I was starting to talk about before, right? It's because the US has so many ground attack aircraft. It must be that, because everybody that loves Navy aircraft loves the Intruder. It's an aircraft that it's such an iconic American Cold War aircraft that it just needs to be in the game. And when it's added as a premium, so it's not fun, you know. It's not a good aircraft to fly in an air battle, but it's a great ground attacker, right? And yeah, that's the problem. I think Gaijin doesn't want to add another ground attacker in these BR ranges. I think it would be kind of funny, because at the end of the day, you gotta think that if you really think about it, on the BR ranges, the aircraft that we see around those BRs, there isn't that many like proper 11.0s, 11.3s, you know, in the ground battles for the US. Normally, it's just an F4, for example, or something like that. It doesn't really have an attacker profile that will have like thermals and everything, right? So you have to go up or down in BR to have something in those BRs in ground battles, right? So at the end of the day, it would be perfect, in my opinion, around 11 point something, right? 11.0, 11.3, something like that in BR. Because it would have still a very, not the most modern thermal system, but it would have Mavericks, it would have laser guided bombs, and it would just be a very cool aircraft to have in the Tech 3, because nobody can have this aircraft because it's a premium. So it's kind of weird. But the only thing that I can think of that we don't have this thing yet is the fact that we have so many attackers. But, you know, necessity won't change too much here, because it's not gonna break the game. The A-6E SWIP is not gonna break the game. So yeah, trying to make a plea over here for Gaijin. If you are listening, if you have the model ready, if the aircraft is supposed to be ready, I mean, the leaks are saying since 2023 that it is, please, for the love of God, add the A-6E Intruder with the SWIP upgrade. Please. It's all I'm asking. Give at least one Intruder for the Tech 3, and just don't hide the aircraft behind a paywall, because it's kind of it's problematic, right? In my opinion, it is really problematic. Even if it's not that interesting maybe for an air battle, it is still problematic. But yeah, guys, basically this is it. Would you like to see the SWIP in the game? Let me know in the comments. I see you guys on the next one. Make sure to subscribe and keep an eye out for more content coming up during this week for the devlogs, leaks, and everything. See you guys. Bye.